So the Oscars, right?
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Betamax.
Hell yeah.
My name is Fidel.
Join us as always.
Joining us as always is
Fidel.
Eddie and Jose.
And Eddie.
I think maybe you guys should start saying your own names from now on instead of me introducing it. Because I'd be getting
Like the Power Rangers?
I be getting a lot of questions like which one's Eddie, which one's Jose.
Oh, okay.
All right. You go.
And I go, okay, Jose's the one that loves Lord of the Rings. And they're like, got it.
That's me.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I love Lord of the Rings too. I'm just not as knowledged on the books, okay?
I would say Jose's love for Lord of the Rings trumps yours.
Trumps.
Yeah.
Whack.
Lived hard.
His love is the greatest love.
There is no other love.
Doctors say it's the best love they've ever seen. Fucking bitch.
Hell yeah.
So what'd you think of the Oscars since you brought it up?
I don't know.
Did you watch them?
No.
Yeah,
You
I didn't
did?
watch. No.
Yeah, I don't watch
watch it.
that shit, dude. That shit's lame.
I did. I put it on after the baseball game yesterday.
Yeah.
Because we watched USA versus Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
And then when it was over, I noticed that the Oscars were on. It's maybe halfway through at that time. So there's a. I tuned in right at the moment when they were doing. It was Raphael Sadiq with like one of those steel, like bluesy guitars,
Ooh,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
and then it was like the whole sequence like from Sinners inside the speakeasy.
Oh, I thought they did that at the beginning of the show. Wasn't that at the beginning of the show?
If it was, then maybe I tuned in like right at the right moment. But like according to the bar, like it shows like how long of the live.
Well, because I know they do like a red carpet before. So maybe.
Yeah, maybe it was all of that.
Yeah.
It could have been. Maybe. Oh, that's where I remember tuning in.
Yeah.
That was a really cool sequence, dude.
Mhm.
And then yeah, I thought it was cool, you know. Sinners won a lot.
I saw that.
They won a lot. Frankenstein won quite a bit too. They won I was gonna write it down, I forgot. Can't remember offhand. I'd have to look it up.
I just know Michael B. Jordan won for Best Actor.
Yeah.
And then one battle after another won Best Director or Best Picture?
Best picture.
Best picture.
Best Picture.
Yeah, they won best picture.
Paul Thomas Anderson's first win, which is
Yeah.
crazy. I thought he would have won it by now.
And Michael B. Jordan's too.
Yeah.
Who else won? Sean Penn won best supporting actor.
Oh, I saw. Who was the one that accepted the award for him?
Can't remember.
Because they said something like, "Oh, Sean Penn couldn't be here now, or he just didn't want to." I don't know, but I'm accepting the award on his behalf.
Yeah, it was the dude who read the nominations.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was offhand.
Yeah.
No, but it was cool. I remember that being the only like music performance that I saw, other than the K-pop one.
Was it like the K-pop Demon Hunters?
Yeah, that one was cool too. Because like we were laying down, we're all laying down in the living room, you know, and Alexis and Joseph had fallen asleep, so it's just me and Raya.
Hell yeah.
But we were just getting ready to like knock out, you know. And then right when that started, she was like, oh, "K-pop Demon Hunters," and so it was cool. We got to watch it. It was cool, you know. Had a good time. It didn't seem like
It was animated?
no. It was the actual
K-pop group?
Yeah, the actual trio of girls. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, but they're animated.
No, I know, but at this particular live,
So it wasn't the same one.
I want to beat you up right now, dude.
I didn't watch them, okay? I don't know what to talk about.
So the girls who do the voices, they were the performers. There was no animated. It wasn't like the gorillas.
In the zoo. Okay.
Oh my
anyways,
God. Speaking of gorillas, what'd you think of that performance with Dell on
That was awesome,
SNL?
dude. It was so awesome. I'm so hyped. Dude,
That was tight.
it was tight, dude. It makes me excited to see because I really want to go see them in LA in October.
Mhm.
It's because it's gonna be the Gorillas doing the Mountain, but also like you know, all of their jams.
Yeah.
But it's with Deltron.
Oh.
Yeah. So like it's not just Del. So which is man, that's gonna be really cool because like it's two concept albums.
Yeah.
So that's pretty sick. So it makes me excited to like want to go and see that.
What do you think about it, Eddie? I know you love gorillas.
I don't know, dude. I don't know shit about them.
Damn.
Yeah, not a fan.
No.
No, he's not a fan of Gorillaz or Daft Punk.
Oh, okay.
We had a whole episode about it.
Mm.
Bitch. So you letting the beard grow out?
Nope.
Why not?
Nope.
It looks good like that, though.
Yeah, dude.
I gotta shave, dude.
No.
So it's bugging the fuck out of me, dude.
If you're gonna shave, I'm gonna cut my hair then.
Fine, dude. I miss a dad haircut, dude.
I've been wanting to cut my hair though. Like
I miss
it's
walking around
finally
and see, like,
getting to
my
me.
deal.
Are you
Yeah, it's hot as fuck, dude.
It's hot as fuck.
Yeah.
It's long as fuck.
You gonna donate it?
Thick as fuck. I don't. How would I go about that? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I just know that there's people who do, like my brother-in-law's done that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can ask him. Like,
I don't know if my hair's like healthy enough though. It doesn't have to be like healthy.
I don't know. I
My
mean,
shit looks all dried out and shit.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll look it up. I'll send you some shit.
Yeah, because it's gotten to a point where like I'm like getting it caught and shit. Like I get caught in my car door if I have it loose.
Yeah,
Because it's long, dude. It's fucking long.
that's crazy.
And I'll be like, it'll wake me up if I move in my sleep because I'll be laying on it. And I'm like pulling my own hair.
Dang.
Yeah, that sounds hot.
I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And I've tried sleeping with it like up, like with the hair tie on, but I can't.
You gotta put like a shower cap, dude.
Fuck.
That'd be
A
sick,
satin-
dude.
a
You
satin
should walk
shower
around
cap?
with a shower cap, dude.
Dude.
That'd be sick as fuck, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to start doing that for the summer. I show up to work like that tomorrow. They send me home. I'll get the fuck out of here.
Just get long ass cornrows, dude.
Damn.
Do it.
No.
Okay.
She looks like it hurts.
Should do dreads first, dude.
Nah, hell no.
No, you're not down.
Nah.
It's probably really expensive.
Yeah.
Unless you do it yourself, but it's probably gonna come out super fucking awful and
Fuck yeah.
awesome at the same time.
Fuck yeah.
Hey man, now that you're a crusty dude, it only makes sense.
I know, right? Just do it with what, like Elmer's glue and shit, manure.
Yeah, and whatever.
Manure.
Yeah, yeah, dude. We can listen to Disrupt while like I'll help you, dude.
This was tight, dude.
Disrupt is tight.
So what have you guys watched?
Did you watch anything?
Mhm.
What did you watch?
I guess I'll go first.
This is Eddie talking, by the way. Go ahead, Eddie.
But you said this is Eddie talking when you were talking, though.
Oh my gosh.
So, anyways, I'm Jose.
Eddie's the one that's gonna get beat up by Jose.
That's what's up.
So I watched a movie called "It Was Just an Accident."
Uh-huh.
It sounds kind of familiar.
What's the premise? Who's in it? What's it streaming on?
Okay, it's a film that came out last year. It was just an accident. It is streaming on, I think it was Hulu, and I watched it last night. So I didn't know anything going into this movie. Like I didn't know what it was about. I didn't know anything. So the only thing I knew about this movie was somebody that I follow on Instagram that I really like value their movie opinions. Posted like the cover of the movie, and I said, "Wow, that ending?" ? So that alone intrigued me, and then the cover it's a cover of like it's a the fuck. Hold on,
Damn.
I got a new phone, so
Oh yeah, which one?
17 Pro Max.
Oh, you think you're better than me or what?
Yeah, I can start. Yeah, I can talk shit now. Now, dude, everybody at work was talking shit, dude,
Why?
because I had the 13.
Fucking ghetto ass
So
bitch.
yeah, dude. They're like, "Oh, is that charger?" 'Cause
Oh,
still
now
have
you have
the old
now
one.
you have the USB-C.
Yeah, I'm normal now. But anyways, the cover it's this white van in the middle of nowhere. Like it looks like it's like in a desert area, and it has a bride and a groom sitting in the back, and like two other people like kind of like sitting on the ground. Like they look like they just been through it. So that image like caught my attention. So I was like, okay, I'll check this movie out.
And what was the comment that you saw?
It said,
Ending?
"Wow, that ending?" Or a question mark or something like that.
Damn. Okay.
So this movie was made last year in Iraq.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all the actors. It has subtitles. It was filmed over there. So visually, when you watch any foreign film, like I just think it looks beautiful because You watch any film that like from here, like you're used to seeing those cars, buildings, all that. So you know,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
you watch anything like if it's a movie filmed in Mexico or fucking anywhere in Europe,
Yeah, and like
France, wherever.
most movies take place in like New York, LA, things like
Yeah,
that.
so it's cool because you see like I mean, you know, it's just refreshing as like an American watching movies like from you know another country or whatever, and just seeing like the type of cars that are in the background, the houses, the people, the way they're dressed, like the culture, everything,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's really cool. But so I didn't, like I said, I didn't read the synopsis. I didn't know anything going into this movie. The first like 10 minutes, it's just like one long shot of a family. It's a POV, like you're facing the car. You see them through the windshield. They're driving down this dark road, no lights. You only see their faces illuminated from like the dash of the car.
Okay.
And then once in a while, a car will drive by the opposite way. So it's like kind of a lonely road. So they're driving down this road, and they're kind of just having like an everyday family conversation. That it's the dad, the mom, and then a little girl in the back seat. And the little girl's kind of being annoying, like, "Oh, I want to listen to my music, blah blah." Like, so the dad's like playing this like kid music for her and all that. And they're just talking about everyday family shit, you know. So you kind of just okay.
You're like a fly on the wall.
Yeah, so you're just like, okay, what's gonna happen? And he ends up hitting a dog, and you know the car just kind of jolts up and down, and then you hear the dog like whimpering, you know. So he kind of pulls to the side, and he's like shocked. Everyone's shocked, like, oh shit, what was that, you know? So he goes outside. He realized like, oh shit, I fucking hit a dog. It's dead or whatever. So it doesn't show it, but you see him like kind of like pulling the corpse to the side of the road, and then he gets back in the car, and then it's kind of like a silent drive, you know. After that, you know, the kid is you know, he's like, oh, you killed the dog. Like, she's super sad, the little girl in the back seat. And, you know, the mom's like, well, you know, it was an accident. Like, you know, we can't see anything in this road, and, you know, it's dark out here. And then she's like, yeah, but, you know, that you killed the dog, blah, blah. And then the dad's like, well, you know, everything, God has a purpose for everything. God put that dog and led that dog in our path for a purpose, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then the little girl's like, God has nothing to do with this. You killed a dog. So it's kind of setting I guess, a big theme in the movie, where you know, you have this everyday family man, and you know, who obviously have some type of like religious background, you know,
Yeah.
with this girl, and they dealt with this shitty situation, you know, and it was very, very, very realistic, you know.
Yeah,
like,
and it's trying to reconcile like what's going on through the lens of religion.
yeah, and it's like a little girl, like not really like all she thinks about is just, oh, that poor dog, and you know, obviously like you know, being a dad, whatever, like you're just like, oh, you know, it happens. You gotta, you know, be strong, whatever. So they continue down this road, and that theme will play later on, like when, you know, he says like, oh, you know, God put that thing in our path, like for a reason, you know, like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, it's one of those the Lord works in mysterious ways type of things.
So, you know, they go a little further down the road, and their car just dies on them. So I don't know if it had something to do with the dog, like, you know, hitting the car or something, or no, I mean, maybe like something just went loose after that, you know?
Yeah.
So it you know, it dies in the middle of the road. But they there's a house like right next to them. The dad goes outside. He's trying to figure out like what he can do and all that. He sees a guy pulling into his like garage workplace area, whatever it is. And he tells him like, hey, you know, my car just died. Do you know where the nearest shop is? He tells him like, you know, it's so, you know, certain kilometers down that way. And he's like, oh, that's kind of far. Like, can I use your phone? And he's like, well, I don't have the number. Like, he's like, but I can help you. I could try to like, you know, fix it for you and figure something out. He's like, oh yeah, I appreciate it. You know, I'm out here with my family. So they start working on this car together. And then the guy who's helping him work on the car, whose house they happen to land on, has a partner or something else in his garage. That's like, you know, they have like this upstairs area in there. And you know, he tells him, hey, like, I'm helping this family. Like, their car broke down. I'm just going to be out there helping them out. He's like, okay, whatever. He's on the phone with his mom. and the dad whose car just broke down with the family like walks in and he's yelling at the other guy that's upstairs like, hey, like your friend told me to come and get the toolbox. And right away you see like the dude's reaction upstairs. He's like, you see something is like trying to like wheels start clicking in his head, but you don't know what. He's like, he even like when he replies to him to tell him where the toolbox is, he doesn't want to be seen. So he's like kind of ducking, like, and he's like sticking his finger in his mouth to like kind of pull his cheek aside to like cover his voice, I guess. He's like, oh, it's right over there behind this, blah, blah, blah. So he grabs it and he's kind of like peeking through this window to look at him. And this guy has like a limp to him. And this
the dad or
the dad.
Okay.
The dad has like a limp. So he's carrying the toolbox back to the car to, you know.
With the gangster lean.
Yeah, kind of. He has like a lean, but you don't know what it is.
Mhm.
So you're not really even processing that yet. And then this guy's just fascinated, trying to like he's just trying to spy on this guy. Like who? It's almost like he recognizes him, but he's not sure. So they get the car running like pretty quickly, and he tells him like, "Oh, you know, it's temporary, but you should be able to get home." Blah blah blah. So he sends him on his way, and very quickly that guy runs down the stairs and tells the partner, he's like, "Hey, like I'll be right back." And he takes like this little moped and starts following the car. So it's very clear that that guy that he's following, he recognizes him from somewhere. He has like some kind of suspicion that about him.
Yeah,
but you don't know what.
Or some kind of fascination.
Yeah. So they, the family eventually gets to the house. The guy in the moped, he's like maybe like a couple, like 200, 300 feet away from them, like kind of like peeking over like this little hill, like looking at them. He's trying to like really like focus on the dad, like trying to like figure out if that's him.
Okay.
Like I said, you don't know why. So he followed him to the house, so now he knows where he lives. So the next day, he gets in his work van. He goes to the house. He starts following him to work and everything. And eventually, he gets like close enough to where he hits him over the head and kidnaps him.
The dad?
The worker that recognized him
hits
the dad over the head and kidnaps him. So now you're like wondering, okay, what the fuck is going on? So that van that they're in is like a work truck for whatever profession he's in. So he has like this giant toolbox inside the van. So he sticks him in there. He ties him up, blindfolds him, and he sticks him in that giant toolbox. So he's like locked in. He drives to the middle of nowhere, digs up a grave for him, throws him in there, and starts like burying him alive.
What the fuck?
And the whole time, this is kind of when you discover what his fascination with this guy is. He's like, I know it's you, blah, blah, blah. I can't remember the name. But
it's like a revenge thing.
Yeah. So this guy was a prisoner in Iraq during this whole regime that's still going on to this day. And that guy that he kidnapped is one of the interrogators that tortured them. So he was like one of Saddam's like right-hand man, like trying to get answers from them. Like it just tortured them. And the whole time he's like yelling at them, like, because of you, like my wife committed suicide. I lost my job. I lost like everything, blah, blah. He's like yelling at him and he's like covering him with dirt. And the guy's like, it's not me. You got the wrong person. And he's like, no, you have a fucking, a peg leg. He's like, I know it's you. And he's like, no, like this just happened last year. Like I'm actually going to the doctor today. He's like, look at my wounds. They're fresh. And he starts like having kind of like a doubt.
Like second thoughts.
Yeah. So he jumps in the grave. He pulls off his little like prosthetic leg and he sees that it's like bruised up and like kind of raw. So now he's like, fuck, did I get the right guy or not?
Oh shit.
So the other guy's like, I swear, like I'm not who you think I am, blah, blah, blah. And now he's having like second thoughts.
Yeah, but now he's in too deep maybe.
Well, so he puts him back in the van, takes off and goes to a friend's house that was, I guess, he was a prisoner in that prison with him. So he was the one that got tortured as well. So he goes into this cafe. He meets up with the guy, and he's like, "Hey, I haven't seen you in years. Like, what's going on? Like, like blah blah." And he's like, "Hey, man, like, I got him. he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I got peg leg. Like that was his nickname. I think he called him like the Gimp or whatever. So he tells him, I have him. And he's like, are you fucking crazy? He's like, you don't need to do anything. Like, I just need you to like look at him,
to
verify him, and then I'll do the rest. And he's like, and this is like where you get like your first kind of clash with him, where he's telling his friend, like, dude, like this guy is like pure evil. Like everything he did to us, like we're away from that now. Like, don't be like him, you know? He's like, I don't want anything to do with him. Like, you're not a violent guy. Like, don't do this. You know, like, you know, we're
like, don't sink to that level.
Yeah, he's like, I know, like what he did to us was fucking horrible, but
don't
like,
become that guy.
Yeah, pretty much. So he refuses to help him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I can give you the number of someone else that was there at that prison that can probably help you. But he's like, I don't want anything to do with it. So he gives her a number of this lady that was also a prisoner there. So now he's going to another spot to meet up with her and try to get her to look at him to see, you know, if it's him.
Are they having like conversations in between these trips?
No, he has them
like gagged or something?
Yeah. He has a gag, blindfolded, tied up, like the whole thing.
Okay.
So he meets up with this lady who's doing like a photography session, like with a bride and a groomsman. Like they're, you know, doing their wedding pictures, I guess, whatever. And he's like, he kind of interrupts, like, hey, I need to talk to you. Like, so-and-so sent me, blah, blah, blah. So long story short, like, yeah, she tells him like, he breaks the news. Like, I got the Gimp. And right away, her reaction is like, what the fuck? Like, are you joking? Like, she starts like kind of like freaking out, getting anxious about it. And then so he brings him to the van to see, and she's like looking at him, and she's like, I think it is, but I'm not 100% sure. He's like blindfolded and all that. So the whole time when they're in the van, they're not talking, right? It's because they don't want the guy to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't want to involve anybody else into it. Like, know that, okay, so-and-so, in case they got the wrong guy. So so she's like, I can't, like, I don't know. Like, I don't, you know, I don't know.
They also want to pull off the blindfold because now he can see.
Because they want to just look at him for sure, you know?
Yeah.
But and then she's very clearly like bothered by this whole situation, and that the bridesmaid and the groom are like, hey, like, you know, you're supposed to be taking our pictures, like, what's going on? And you realize that I think they're sisters, or they're related to each other, the photographer and the lady that's getting married,
the bride.
So I said bridesmaid earlier. I don't know.
I know. I was like, so how many people are here?
Yeah. No. So it's just the four. But so she tells him like, hey, like, he has like the peg leg in there, and she freaks the fuck out, the bride. So she goes in there and she starts like punching him, like when they open the toolbox thing, she starts like freaking out. And so it's very clear that this guy has affected so many lives, you know, and the
peg leg guy.
Yeah, the peg leg guy has just, you know, it's clear that he had like this wave of like violence and torture like over a ton of people, because just the way they react when they even like see him and stuff. And they ask her like, are you sure it's him? And she's like, well, it smells like him. Like I guess a lot of them like torture blindfolded, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I this smells just like him. Like, but I think she's like, I never saw him, so I don't know. And then so they're like, you know what? There's one person that we know for sure. we'll know who this, if it's for him. But he's like kind of unhinged. He has like PTSD from everything. He was another prisoner. He's like, but we will know for sure. It's like, but first, like, let's drug this guy so he doesn't, you know, try to do anything, and we can talk around him. So they end up like drugging him. They get like this like doctor to give him like some strong shit. So they put him to sleep, you know? So they meet up with this other guy who's like clearly off his rocker, dude. This guy is like, when he finds out that he's in there, he starts flipping out, dude. Like, he wants to kill him immediately.
Yeah.
You know, so like I said, like, it's clear that this guy has like been affected by him as well.
Yeah.
And he's like, what the fuck are you doing? Let's go kill him. And they're like, no, we got to make sure, you know? So while he's like all drugged up and asleep, you know, the hinged guy like kind of checks out his legs and stuff. And just by feeling the scars on his leg, he's like, it's him. Like, I know it's him. So they kind of got that confirmation. Okay, it is him, you know? And he just wants to kill him right now. But it's very clear that the main guy, like, none of them are like killers.
Yeah.
Like, none of them are about that life, you know? So except for the unhinged guy, like, he's the one that, like, he would fucking party do it in a heartbeat. But the other ones are kind of stopping him from, like, you know, hey, like, back off. Like, we'll handle this. Like, you know, so eventually, you know, they get into all these little scenarios, dude. And this movie has, like, some funny moments, some, like, very, like, anxious, like, anxiety inducing moments. But and there's a portion towards, like, the third act of the movie, I guess, where the guy ends up having, like, a cell phone in the one that they kidnapped has a cell phone in his pocket, and he keeps ringing and ringing, and the guy our main character answers it, and it's his daughter crying and saying, like, hey, mom passed out, like, you need to come home, like, I don't know what to do, like, she's, like, freaking out. And that's, like, where he has, like, that his, like, empathy, I guess, kicks in. He's like, I gotta go help this girl out. And you know, they're telling him, like, what if it's a trap? You know, this guy's, like, a big deal. Like, what if it's a trap? And so he ends up following his gut. He goes to the house because he knows where they live. And sure enough, like, the wife is passed out. And she's pregnant. So he ends up, you know, taking them to the hospital, and that's where you get, like, the first heart to heart, like, real, like, kind of. You get this nice scene of, like, the main character, this older guy who's just, like, an everyday average Joe, you know, talking to the guy's daughter, this little girl. She's, I don't know, probably like 9 or so,
Okay.
8, 9 years old, and she's a little girl, dude, and he's like talking to her, and, like, you get, like, this, like, feeling, like, it's like, dude, like, this little girl's about to lose her dad and, like, almost lost her mom, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, you know, it ends up being, like, everything's safe. Like, she ends up giving birth, and she's, you know, everything's okay. You know, she's stable and all that. But just that scene, dude, like, it kind of got to me because, you know, obviously, like, because of Emily and stuff. But these kids are put in these situations, like, these dangerous situations, all because, like, these religious wars and, like, everything else is going on, and you know, and it's the same girl from, like, the beginning that was just like, you know, like, you ran over that dog, like, and he's all trying to, like, tell her about, oh, you know, God this, God that, and she's like, no, I'm just talking about the fucking dog, you know. So
it's like a display of that innocence.
Yeah, and that's what it is.
And then it's like her now having that innocence being taken away
Yeah.
due to the behaviors of these
'Cause-
people as, like, these effects of those types of actions.
Yeah, and so, like, all these people that are essentially good people, they were just prisoners of you know, of all this horrible shit, and they're kind of committing like, something horrible by kidnapping her dad,
Yeah.
you know, and you kind of see that, and it's just like, damn, like, really the only good people in this world are kids, dude. Like, they're the only, like, real innocent people, and you kind of have that, like, you know, after this, I think he kind of, like, he's the main character is trying to figure out, like, okay, what the fuck do I do, you know? And this is at the point where, like, the unhinged guy, like, kind of, like, is just over it, and he's like, you know what, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, I'm leaving. I don't want to do this anymore. And he takes off, and that's the last time you see that guy. And he ends up talking to the photographer lady, who at this point they have a pretty good bond. They're kind of, like, I guess, the only, like, real level-headed people in this movie. And you know, he tells her, like, hey, just talk to your sister and her fiance, and just tell them, like, you know, like, we'll handle this, you know, they don't let them be a part of this, because the fiance he wasn't one of the prisoners. He had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and it wasn't until, like, a little bit earlier, she confesses that this guy raped her. Like, he took her virginity when she was a young girl. Like, total piece of shit guy, dude. and you just feel for that fiance because you're just like, how do you react to that? You know,
Yeah.
like and she's like, well, I didn't tell you because I mean, I didn't figure like it would ever like have to come up or whatever. You know, like
Plus, I imagine in that part of the world, the kind of shame that brings in that
exactly,
culture, you know?
yeah. And yeah, and you just feel so bad for this guy because he's like kind of like the fly on the wall because all these people are like so like hot headed and they want to kill this guy and what they want answers.
And he's excluded from this group in a way because they all share that commonality of having been tortured by this person, and he's like on the outside, just like
yeah, and they acknowledge that sometimes. Like the unhinged guy earlier is like, you're like, what the fuck? Who are you in here? Like you haven't had any opinions throughout this whole fucking time, and like now you want to say something. Like that was after he got kind of heated because of he found out like about her getting raped and everything.
yeah.
So, but eventually, dude, it's just the two main characters, the photographer, our main guy, and then the dad they kidnapped, right? And they end up, you get this long, like I think it's like a 15-minute one take scene. And it's just, they go to the middle of nowhere. They tie the guy up to a tree, and he's only lit from the only light hitting him is the light from the
Like the headlights of the car?
not the headlights, brake lights.
The brake
So
lights?
everything's just like blood red.
Okay.
It looks really cool. Symbolism. So he's tied up. He's still gagged. He still has a blindfold, and our main character is just like talking to him, kind of pissed. He's like, you fucking like, you're responsible for my wife, you know, committing suicide. You're responsible for all those years. Like you killed me 100 times over while you tortured me. Like he's just talking about all this horrible shit that he's done to him.
Yeah.
And the guy ends up confessing. He's like, yeah, it was, I'm the guy you're talking about. And he's like, you know what? He's like, I believe in this regime and I would do it all over again. He's like, I would, like, pretty much essentially saying like, I would die for this. And he's even saying like, if you kill me now, like I'm only going to become a martyr for my cause, for my belief. So, and it just, and like,
Do
it's
what
just
you must, yeah.
soul crushing to this main character, dude. And I think he's telling him because he knows he's not a killer. He knows he's not like him, you know?
Yeah.
He doesn't have that
He's calling his
courage.
bluff.
Yeah. And but
it's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Mm-hmm. And he's just telling him like, you know, like you did all this horrible shit to me, and this guy's just like, yeah, and then like it's for a cause that I, you know, it's like something that I believe in that I would do. And he just doesn't back down. Even knowing that, like, you know,
So
even if I
he's
die,
doubling down while he's like tied up and bound.
yeah.
Wow.
So, and he tells him like you said, like if you kill me now, like I'm only gonna become a martyr. Like I don't care. Like so, he's like I'm gonna ascend to heaven. Like, you know, and that's where the photographer lady comes in after that. And during the whole time, like you get like 10 minutes of the two guys arguing like back and forth, and then you finally get the photographer who's a little more physical. Like she starts punching him, slapping him, like holding his face, and you know, saying the same shit like I'm gonna fucking kill you, like after everything you did to me. Like, and she's like, oh, like you're never gonna see your son again, and blah blah blah. And I think he finally got confronted with like courage. So after that is when the bad guy, I guess, essentially
the
peg leg breaks down. He starts crying. He's like, I just want to see my son, blah blah blah. He's like, I'm sorry for everything. And he starts apologizing, but like crying and apologizing. And this girl, like, dude, you get so much like character development and arcs like in this like 15-minute long take. And she starts breaking down and crying, and you just feel for her, like this weight just got lifted off her shoulders. Like that's all she needed to hear, you know, like just after all that torture and like who knows what the fuck they did to her, he's just fucking breaking down, crying and apologizing, and you know,
like everybody's like experiencing like their humanity at the same time.
yeah, and I'm gonna ruin the movie only because I know most people are not.
You can't just leave everybody hanging now.
No, dude. Okay.
Why not?
So after that, like I'm just like, okay, kill him. Kill him.
Oh yeah.
So the main character drops a knife next to him and he tells him, all right, he's like, there's a utility knife next to you. It's like you can cut yourself for free. He ends up like freeing his hands. He's like, you're like 20 minutes away from the nearest town. Like you just gotta walk that way. And then that's it. They leave him. And the next shot is our main character at home, like he's running in and out of the house, and his partner, his family's there, and he seems like he's just alive, you know, like he's kind of okay, I confronted the person that just ruined my fucking life, and I let him live. Like I gave him a second chance. Like he's gonna get to see his kid because of me. Like, you know, he showed him empathy. You know, probably something that maybe he's never been shown before. Maybe that's why he was okay doing what he did. You know, so he's talking to his mom, and it's like a one long take. Like he's just coming in and out of the house. He's like loading his work truck with stuff, talking, and then you get you see this van kind of like pull up. And he doesn't acknowledge it. Like, you kind of see it, like, in the background. And he goes back in. He's talking to his mom for a little bit. And he starts like, walking inside the house. The whole time, the camera's, like, panned behind him, kind of following him. And then he hears, like, footsteps. And he just freezes. You don't see his face. You just see his, like, his reaction. His, like, physical reaction to hearing those footsteps. And he just kind of, like, he just stands there like with his shoulders kind of way down for like, it lingers on for like a good like fucking 30 seconds, which it seems like forever.
Damn.
And then it just cuts to black. So, dude, yeah, this movie, like the ending hit me like, it was like a punch in the gut, dude. And it kind of leaves you like kind of wondering what is going to happen.
Like why was his reaction like that? Did he recognize those footsteps? Cause it sounded like a man with a limp. You know,
it was definitely that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He recognized, like, that's why he's like, fuck.
So you think he went back to kill him, or?
Mm-hmm. Well,
or to some sort of second reconciliation moment.
Yeah, I mean, he gave him a second chance at life, dude. So immediately I was like, okay, I need to hear like someone else's like interpretation, dude, because like my mind is kind of going all over the place. So I'm like, okay. So I went on YouTube. I found this. There's not a lot about this movie, dude. And it's crazy because it won like a big award at the Cannes Festival. Yeah. Like it got a lot of recognition.
What was it called again?
It was Just an Accident. So, what do you call it? Yeah, they're like kind of breaking down the movie and like some of the themes and stuff, but they're talking specifically about the ending. And the way these two YouTubers saw it was like, you know, like they saw that like the second to last scene where he's like tied up to the tree as like them giving him a second chance at life, and like, you know, possibly, you know, making him like just rewire his whole brain and mindset on everything, you know, and just like they were talking it like it was like a kind of a positive ending. And when they were talking about it, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I can see that. But then I always go to the comments, dude. And like the top comment was somebody just talking about it. He's like, I don't think it was that at all. He's like, because one little detail, and it was the van pulling up.
Yeah.
And they said that the way the van pulled up, and this was like 2 seconds. Like it was one of those, like if you miss it, you miss it. Yeah. It pulled up directly in front of his van, like blocking it. And you don't pull up to someone's house blocking their vehicle like that.
Agents of the state usually pull up like that.
Exactly. And he's like, it was such a subtle little thing. And he's like, I didn't notice it my first time, but on my second watch, I noticed it. And it just changed everything. And I was like, I noticed it too. And I was immediately like, I noticed it, but then like, I thought it was weird that the character didn't acknowledge it. And I'm like, maybe he didn't see it. Like, when, you know, he wasn't looking that way. So we as the audience saw it. Mm-hmm. So we knew something might come of it. But I was like, maybe it was nothing. Maybe like, you know, I didn't know where the fuck the ending was going to go. But he was saying that, yeah, like because of that van just blocking that other van, like he feels like it was more hostile, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I think it was.
It's like the way like an ICE agent would pull up like to block a car.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I think the way I saw it, like, after, hearing him talk about it, because he even talks about like that scene where he's tied up to the tree. He's like, I think he was just telling that lady what she wanted to hear.
Manipulating the situation, because he had already admitted that he already doubled down.
Yeah, he was like ready to go. He's like, I'm down to be a martyr. I'm down to do,
Did they ever disclose if he was a former agent of a former regime, or does this take place during like the Saddam Hussein regime?
It doesn't say. It doesn't give like a timeline or anything.
Or like, do they acknowledge if he's still an active agent?
No, by the looks of it, it looks like he's maybe retired or something.
Like a former situation. Okay,
that's what I got out of it. But like I said, it doesn't give you enough details. Because it gives you just enough to where like you start kind of like, oh, I like I might think this or that. But
yeah, because I mean, like that would make the van make sense. Because if he was still like if he was still like an employee of the state, if you will.
Yeah.
But like if
it wasn't his car.
Yeah, and if it's not the same car that they were driving, like, I don't know.
Yeah, so that's what I got out of it. And I mean, I think it would fit the message perfectly because, they try to break that cycle of violence, but maybe killing him would have somehow stopped it, but then they'd be the ones continuing that violence,
Yeah.
So...
And I mean, like, at the end of the day, like, that dude had a family that would miss him. So it's not like that would be something that they would get away with easily,
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Yeah, dude, it's a pretty crazy film, dude.
That's crazy.
Where did you say you watched it?
I think it's on Hulu. I'm pretty sure it's Hulu.
And it's an Iraqi film? Or was it just filmed in Iraq?
No, it was... It was filmed in Iraq, but the director, he's from Iraq. And
oh, so it's like a full Iraqi production.
Yeah. And I know that a lot of people were saying that like he can get in big trouble for making this film, especially like with all the stuff the themes that are in it. But I haven't done enough research to kind of dig in because I just saw it last night. So I want to dig in more about and I want to know more about the director and stuff, but. I'm
curious to know about like if it's like a period piece, if you will, because I mean that would explain a lot.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like by like the technology in it, like it's hard to tell because you're not from that culture. So I don't know. Like, is that what it looks like right now? Is that like I can't tell.
Yeah, or are they showing? Or these set pieces to show like a period of time that
it's just like late 90s or mid 2000s, whatever it is,
That's cool.
Yeah, so I don't know. I want to do more research on it, but yeah, I know like a lot of people were kind of like kind of worried for the director, but as far as I know, like I mean, it's getting a lot of buzz. So I don't know. I like films like this, dude, that really kind of they're like really raw and real. But like I said, like it's a beautiful film. The way it looks, it's beautiful, and like a lot of it has to do with just like what you're seeing, like the culture, and like the way the characters are. Like there's a funny scene where like there's like cops, like they're in the van arguing, and like they start bickering, so they go outside and start yelling, and there's like these two like security guards just chilling there, and they're like, "What do you guys? This is private property." And they have to like pretend like, oh no, we're just taking like bridesmaids pictures and blah blah blah. Like, so they have little funny moments, dude. But it's not the typical like Hollywood comedy. Like it's really subtle but funny.
Well, because I found the fact that they were going from one place to the other, like, just makes that whole thing seem more ridiculous.
Yeah, and like I said, like I didn't know like what this movie was. I thought it was gonna be a horror film just from the 10 minutes alone.
And the way that person's comment that you saw kind of it seemed so ominous, It's hard not to have your mind kind of like immediately go to like a horror film.
And it's hard to explain it and like hype it up because like it's a very like kind of basic ending. Yeah. Where it's just a long take like of a guy like just reacting to something. Like you can feel the weight on the shoulders coming back. And like it's hard to explain that. It's something you just gotta see to really feel it. Because like I was like, wow.
It sounds like it's one of those ones that ends in a way where it kind of leaves it to the audience's interpretation.
Yeah.
The Sopranos ending.
Yeah, like Yeah, and that's what it. I mean, that's obviously what the director wanted to do, but you know, he gives you like little hints to where it's like,
It's not as ambiguous.
yeah, like it is kind of leaning more towards one way, but like I said, it's a small little detail about the van that makes me believe that, and if that didn't happen, then it could have easily gone both ways. Like, yeah, he could have been there and been like, hey, like, you know,
Thanks for letting me live.
yeah, like, yeah, like maybe he wanted more closure or he something, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, or he's like, this is for, drugging me and kidnapping me.
Yeah.
And
Or what if it was somebody else and the continuation is like him coming up and be like, you got the wrong guy. I'm the guy.
Nah, that's stupid.
Thanks.
But yeah, I would recommend it.
It
like
is on Hulu. I just looked it up.
Yeah, it's a good film, dude. It's very interesting. Yeah, it's very original the way it's shot. Like it's not boring at all, dude. Like it's not even that long. I think it's like an hour and like 30 minutes or something. Like just typical runtime.
okay.
But it's pretty fast moving. So like, you know, there's no crazy action scenes, but it's just a lot of like characters just in like scenarios and, you know,
It sounds
going
like it
from
does a
point A
lot
to
of-
B to C to D.
Yeah, it sounds like it does a lot of character building.
Yeah, and like I said, and you get like nice, beautiful like scenes. Like I said in the hospital where the guy's talking to the little girl and kind of like, you kind of like you know, like I said, like all this horrible shit's going on. This girl's just worried about her mom. Like,
Yeah, she's just in that mix.
yeah, she's like eating her sandwich and like it's just like, yeah, like you get like that breath of fresh air. Like, damn, like, you know,
There's horrible things are occurring while this
Mhm.
girl is just having like a genuine moment.
yeah, dude. And so, yeah, I would recommend it if you guys ever get a chance to check it out. Like, definitely do.
That sounds tight.
Yeah, it's a good movie, dude.
Was that the only thing you watched?
No, but I'll get to my other one after.
Did you watch anything?
I watched one movie and two documentaries. The first documentary I watched was the docuseries rather. It's like a 3-parter about America's Next Top Model on Netflix.
Yeah.
Man, that was a good one. Do you guys remember that show?
I remember the show.
Have you ever seen it?
Briefly.
Like in passing, I guess you could say.
Same. I if you were to describe it, like would it be fair to describe it as like just like a competition show
Yeah.
for like a modeling position,
Yeah.
you know? And they just go through a series of different shoots and then they judge the person on their performance, right?
Yeah.
Well, through this docu series, you kind of learned that there's way more to like that show had so much more going on that I never realized because I mean that's not something that I normally would watch. And like, dude, like, it really exposes a lot of some of the bad like writing decisions for the show. They interview a lot of different contestants. And they give a lot of they each of them have an opportunity to talk about their experience being on the show. Some of them were fans of the show that became contestants. It touches on the history of kind of like how the show kind of came around, like the players involved. But man, it's one of those ones that's kind of a bummer. And it really goes to show, because even Tyra Banks is one of the people that sits down and has one of those one-on-one type interviews. Bro, she is a sociopath.
Yeah.
For sure, dude. For sure. Like, I mean, if anybody else like watches it, I'm sure they would get the same vibe that Alexis and I got, you know, which was like she just seems shady. Like, some of the business decisions that she was making, but it was just fascinating, like to see like how these women's experiences were so traumatic at times for some of the things that they've gone through. Like this one girl, she was talking about how they gave a little bit of her background. She came from like a poor area, and this was her shot. she kind of looked at it as like, oh, like I made it, like I'm getting this is my way out, right? So she becomes this contestant on the show, and they started, um, they made a comment about she had like this gap in her teeth, and they were saying, like, oh, like you like you gotta like you gotta do something about that gap, you know, like pretty much saying like nobody's going to hire you with a gap like that in your teeth, you know, like it's sending the message of that it's ugly, it's not considered, you know, very beautiful or whatnot, right? And they were like intentionally like putting them in scenarios where they would do these competitions or these contests where like they would theme it around like obviously like to expose this person and having their gap teeth situation. And they presented these two contestants who both had one girl had like one of those snaggletooths, and the girl with the gap tooth. They're like, oh, surprise, we're gonna go to the dentist and you guys are gonna get work done, you know. And then the one girl was like saying, hell yeah, like I would never afford to do this, so she was down. And then the other girl, she was saying like, damn, that's kind of fucked up, like I'm not trying to like do that, you know. I love my gap, you know, like. And they pretty much put her in a situation where it was like you either proceed and get your gap closed or don't. And then she goes through with it, right? And she talks about how that was very reluctant. She was really reluctant to do so, and she did it. And then she didn't end up winning, dude. And then like a couple of seasons later, there was another contestant who had like a little bit of a gap tooth, and they fucking flipped the whole narrative around to where it was like the gaps are beautiful and stuff like that, to even where they got it widened.
The fuck?
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
dude. Yeah. And like just some, and then other like abusive scenarios, with not even just with with the contestants, sometimes even like with the one of the co-stars, where he was even saying like I started to recognize, like he's like, I don't want to do it anymore, you know, I wanted to leave the show. It wasn't, I got like, it was turning into something that I couldn't, you know, like Padme and Anakin, you know. And so he talks about how they made a deal where they're like, okay, like you stay on, do the next like season or whatever. And they talk about how he had his role completely like dialed down from like being part of creative and stuff to where he's just an on-screen talent, you know, just announcing shit, doing what he's told.
Hmm.
And he was even saying that he went to go sit down next to Tyra, and he leaned into her before they started shooting, and he was like, hey, like good to see you or whatever, you know, like like we should talk, you know. And he said that she like ignored him, like didn't even like acknowledge that he was speaking to her. And then they started rolling, and then you know the show started going, and then she immediately went into character and was like being like super friendly, like nothing ever happened and stuff. And then they cut back and show scenes and stuff. It's really horrible. And one of the things that stood out to me too was there was this one girl who, she was, mind you, it's a reality show, right? So like they're filming, they all live together, so they're like filming them like do stuff. And there's this one girl, dude, like young girl, man, and she came in, she had a fiance, like, you know, just your typical like American next door type girl. they she got like super fucked up, and she ended up hooking up with like one of the crew members, like a camera guy or something. And bro, like they're like filming the whole thing, you know, like they're filming like them, like, you know, almost to the point where they're fucking, right? And then she has this moment where she feels regret, and they the producers are having like where they're sitting down with Tyra at like a dinner or like a brunch or something, and the topic is she's like talking about infidelity, dude. Like forcing forcing these things to happen for people, right? So she gets triggered, right? And then they have this conversation. She's like, "Oh, did you cheat?" You know? And then she like, you know, starts to open up to her, and then it's like a moment where she's trying to like bestow wisdom or something. And then she goes to make a phone call, and dude, they're fucking filming her have this phone call where she calls her fiance to tell him, and like they're playing the audio, Like, and he's like, how could you do this? Like, you fucking bitch, you know? And like, it's all like on the air and shit. Like, and, you know, and
Yeah, that's good TV, dude.
For real.
that's what I'm saying, you know? So like at that time, like, you know, it's like that's what made for good TV, I suppose, you know?
That's gnarly, dude.
Dude, yeah. But like, you know, this girl, she was talking about it, and you can see that it's like, it sucks to have her hear like back, like the audio from the phone call.
Mm.
And you can see her physically, like in the show, she was super skinny and petite, like had this like glow about her. And then when you see her sitting down, like she gained a lot of weight. Like she said that they even tried to make it work. She comments about how they tried to make it work, but every time she would go, they'd be walking down the street like holding hands. People would walk by and they'd be like, "Whore," you know, shit like that, dude. And it just became too much, and like it just kind of ruined her life. And come to find out that all these models, even the ones that won, dude, like they were trash deals. They get into these agencies and they put these contestants in, like these winners, in a pool because they're inexperienced. Because they're not real models, you know,
Yeah.
like because they weren't doing modeling shit. They were doing fucking crocodile contests and shit, you know, like stupid, like trash TV competition stuff, dude. And like Tyra fucking benefited from all of that, dude. And she showed like zero remorse for any of the things, because like they even asked her about a lot of those different instances, and she doesn't give a fuck. And she was very like, she like, it was funny. She kept like like reiterating like how, like her blackness, you know, like she would like she it was every time she's on the screen, like she leaned into it. And then one of the contestants was saying like, damn, like you're gonna dog me like that in the industry after I won, you know, you're gonna dog me like that, a black woman, you know, like kind of like where the docuseries is kind of putting it, like calling that into question, like her authenticity, because like of how she handled this situation with one of the winners, you know.
Mm.
So it was one of those kind of like exposés of like the dark side of like this show, you
Yeah.
know. And it kind of shed a light on maybe a little bit of like the ethics of like Tyra Banks. It sucks because she was my favorite of Will's girlfriends in The Fresh Prince. I hate her now, dude. But yeah, that one was pretty interesting. It was like 3 parts. It was on Netflix. It was pretty fascinating. I recommend anybody who's into like documentaries, docuseries. You know, if you guys are into like those types of exposés, kind of showing like the effects of some of these things that happen to people in real life. You know,
Yeah.
it would pique that interest. The other documentary I watched was this one about, I think it's just called Lucy Letby. There's a girl's named Lucy Letby. She was a nurse in England. But it's funny, they're from like northern England, so everybody's like, it's like Lucy Letby. So it's funny, but it's a case that I guess is really famous out there. She was a NICU nurse.
A what?
A NICU.
Oh, okay. I thought you said something else.
Yeah, a NICU nurse. You guys are idiots. And it was, so there was a point in time, like a very short span of time at this particular hospital, where all these babies in this NICU unit is like they were collapsing, or like having like what they call collapsing, and you know, or they're dying, you know. And what they were saying was it was peculiar because like some of these babies weren't like showing signs of something like that, like they were progressing, you know. And it was like, you know, them trying to tie in like let's look at the logs of who was working, you know. So they were starting to build a case, you know, because these parents were having like their babies, they were dying. Like there's many of them had died. Like I can't remember the exact number, but like 20 or more, you know, in like a maybe a few months span or something, which is a lot, you know. And so like she gets this girl, this nurse, she becomes like the suspect, and they prosecute her, and they go to the trial, and it becomes like this media sensation, and they end up finding her guilty. But what this documentary ends up exploring down the line is like they were saying like there was gaps in some of like the system because nobody ever brought in like experts like for these instances during the trial. Like it was kind of like everybody was just like, oh, here's all the facts, boom, she's guilty. And it's like they never brought in like professional like second opinion type expert opinions and stuff. And it wasn't until this one person who was like a doctor reached out to this other doctor who is like renowned for a field of study. Bro put together a panel of other doctors and researchers, and they started digging through all these like the cases of each of the babies that had died, and everything, and they were basically saying that they're concluding that like you could challenge that verdict with a lot of these findings, but at the end of the day, and they even mention it in the documentary, it's like bro didn't offer anything other than opinions. The verdict still stands. So she's still doing time, and it's become one of those things where after the fact, like at one point, there was such a viral, sensational like story that everybody like in the UK TikTok type online world were all like, she's guilty, blah blah blah. Content creators, just doing their thing, and then the story of these experts trying to find like these nuances in the story or in the case, and then so that it puts people like or she's innocent, which I apparently is still kind of like the discussion around that today. It was interesting. It wasn't as good as the other one.
What year is this?
This happened recently, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this happened within the last like couple years, dude. Like it was they're
I remember hearing about this.
yeah, they're calling her like the UK's most notorious like serial killer,
Mm.
Because of how many babies had died under her like watch, if you will. Because they're saying that she was doing things to intentionally cause these babies to have these instances that cause them to die. Kind of similar to like that one nurse that was injecting patients with insulin.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Like Edward Cullen or whatever. Yeah, I could have the name wrong. I can't remember. Similar situation, but
Isn't Edward Cullen the guy from Twilight?
maybe I don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't give a shit. Anyways, similar story, but yeah, it was interesting. And I saw that there's a couple of them about the same case. But yeah, that one was cool, but not I didn't enjoy it as much as the other one. But it was an interesting case. If anything, it kind of just did one of those things where it highlights a failure in the justice system at some degree. To where maybe not saying that I have an opinion that she was innocent, but like didn't seem like it was a fair trial if they weren't going to bring in like these experts to really see if there's like a connection there, because they were talking about that she was the most experienced nurse in that wing, and they did talk about how she was mad bullied, like that she had it was a kind of a hostile work environment for her. So there was like some instances where people were, I guess, alluding to where she had been set up, but I suppose that only could have been determined if these experts were to explore those death cases during the trial, which didn't happen. So I guess like one of those judicial system or justice system fumbles, which is like a very common thing I'm seeing in a lot of these documentaries I'm watching lately. So, but yeah, the other, I watched Marty Supreme, which I told you guys, and then that movie Goat, the one that by Steph Curry. That movie was tight, dude.
Yeah.
That movie's sick. Truthfully, man, that's what the second Space Jam movie should have been.
So what is it about?
So it's like it's in the same animation style as like the Spider-Verse, like that type of animation style.
Yeah.
And it's starring like so it's about like this world that's just like animals, right? So like think like Zootopia, if you will. And they have this basketball game. They call it something else like Warball or something like that. But it's like ridiculous, like fucking Space Jam, right? But they have different teams that are in different areas of the world. So like each stadium is like a different terrain. You have like your jungle, you have your tundra. Your tundra has like a bunch of polar bears on the team, and like, you know, stuff like that. And it's a basketball game. So typically all of these animals are large animals. And the main character is a tiny little goat. And he wants to be like a pro baller. Like he wants to be a baller. And you know, it's just one of those things like, dude, like you're never going to be a baller because
He's the underdog.
yeah, you're just small, you know, but like he's bad, you know, he can hoop, you know, he's quick. And, and he just kind of goes through like the circuit, and he's, you know, balling out with like local like with his homies and stuff. And he gets picked up, by a team, and, he's on the team with who like would be his idol, who is kind of like the LeBron type, you know. It's a Panther who's been in the league for a long time, like tail end of their career, but still trying to prove that they got it, you know. Super territorial, you know. It has like those type of common tropes. So gets on the team, bro's sitting on the bench. They're giving him a hard time, you know. Not even it even like shows like the coach. The coach is just like a fucking, you know, he doesn't run the team. He just follows the instructions of the star, you know, basically, and the franchise, you know, like they call the shots. So you know he has an opportunity when that character gets injured, the Panther gets injured, and he has an opportunity where he gets subbed in, and they're down, you know, so like it becomes like one of those epic comeback scenarios, and they're just on a roll having it's definitely way cooler than the Space Jam movie with LeBron James, dude.
That shit sucked, dude.
Because
I don't even remember it.
That one was bad.
The only funny joke in that whole movie was when
The Michael Jordan?
yeah. When Michael Jordan comes out. And it's
Michael B. Jordan?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. I mean, that movie sucked pretty bad, dude.
Yeah.
But this one definitely felt more like that old school, like original Space Jam, like aura. It had that, you know?
Well, you said it's Steph Curry. Like, what was his involvement in?
I think he was the producer. Like, it was like his production. Soundtrack was sick, dude. It had good music in it. I can't remember who else is in the cast. The main character is played by the Caleb. Can't remember the last name from Stranger Things.
Which one?
The kid from It. He's also in it.
No, the black kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the dude who does the voice of the main character, the goat. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, I liked it. I liked the animation on it. Like, I loved like the way that it seemed very Space Jam in nature, because like when they would stomp or something like that, then like the ground would like around their stomp would just like shoot up and like turn into like, you know, like small like cliffs, you know, and like you see like the defenders who are trying to take the ball from them like fly off, you know, like ridiculously cartoony like that, you know, which gave it like that Space Jam feel to it too. And obviously it's basketball is the setting, you know, but it was cool, you know. I loved the underdog message, and then there was a moment where the main character and then that Panther like he just wants to be part of the team. Panthers is territorial, they clash, and then they have a moment where they become tight, you know, and
so fucking tight.
Yeah, so they develop like a bond, you know. And there's this other team who's like the championship team, and then their team has the star, who's like the big baddie, you know. He's like a horse or some shit, you know. And the way that it's set up, because they're the team that they had play at the end, the first press conference that they put the goat together with the Panther, and the Panthers just being like a dick, and he's just like, oh, we were talking before we came out here, and he was talking mad, like basically talking mad shit about Mr. Horse guy on this team, saying like, oh, but I could ball him up, and it's like, tell him what you said, and he's over here just like, I didn't like that didn't happen, you know. So like, and it cuts to like the Horse seeing like that press conference and just getting fucking heated, you know. So he's, you know, just has this, he has it out for this goat at the end of during that last game, you know. And then you kind of see like how the relationship that he's built with the teammates on that team, like all come together during that game because it's, you know, that big game. It was cool.
What did you watch it on your app?
No, we went to the drive-in.
Ah,
I took the kids. It was a movie that Joseph been wanting to see.
yeah.
So I was like, yeah, let's go. So it was it was me, Alexis, the kids, and we took the Joseph's homie.
How was that experience at the drive-in? How often do you go to the drive-in?
I like the drive-in. We went. That was our third time taking the kids. The only thing they don't like is just because we have the hybrid, it turns off. And Joseph's like, I don't want it to turn off. So we want to go see the Mario movie that's coming out on the 4th, but they want to see it in a theater. So I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. You know, but I like the drive-in, dude. The drive-in is fun. I like that you don't have to worry about other people. You know, you kind of do your own thing. You can have conversation if you want to. You know, and like you could stay for 2 films if you wanted to. You know, like it's cool. You know, and it's not expensive. But we had a good time. You know, we put the seats back, open the back, and put the blankets down. The kids chill, and then we pull out our baseball couch, which is like a 2-seater.
Yeah.
And then me and Alexis post up, and we just, you know, hang out. It's fun, man. I like taking the kids to do that.
That's what's up.
Glady.
I haven't been in the drive-in in so long.
Yeah.
You went to the Van Buren one?
Yeah.
Have you ever gone to the Rubidoux one?
I've been to the Rubidoux one. That's where I saw Tropic Thunder. But I don't think we haven't taken the kids to that one. We've only taken them to Van Buren.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the last time we took them, we saw the Jurassic World. And then the first time we took them was to go see Inside Out 2. Yeah. Do you remember the last time you went? How long ago was that?
The last movie I remember seeing at the drive-in is Miami Vice with Jamie Foxx.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no, I'm lying. It was Your Highness. When I went with like Cisco and I think it was like Kenny and Brenda, and they like hotboxed the car. But like I waited outside because I don't smoke. But I just remember they all passed out, and then the movie was stupid. I was like, and they woke up and they're like, let's just get out of here.
That's funny. When was the last time you went?
To see Barbarian.
Oh, so that wasn't like too long ago.
That wasn't that long ago, but I didn't like it just because I think it was just the type of movie. I wouldn't watch a horror movie again at a drive-in.
Yeah, and I think you would just need like your car just has to have like bomb speakers if you're gonna watch a movie that has like good, like it's audio forward.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, even just the visuals, like it's not. The projectors aren't good enough to where like it catches the dark tones.
That's true.
And that movie's very dark, so there's like a lot of times I didn't know what the fuck was happening.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean I would go again, but just to see like a dumb movie.
Yeah, but I mean, like I imagine as Emily gets a little bit older, you know, when like she starts, you know, like, oh, I want to see that movie. I suppose that, you know,
Yeah,
that's a good opportunity to do that.
Yeah. Kids movies.
Yeah, because I think it's fun to do it like that.
Did we tell you I made her cry?
The baby?
Mm-hmm.
Really? What'd you do?
The baby.
Looked at her.
Yeah. I feel that.
Like right when I got in the car, I was like, "Hi." She's like, "Ooh."
Damn.
I'm like, "Damn, I'm that ugly."
You are.
Damn, that's what's up.
That's what's up.
She did that right now?
What?
She did that earlier?
No.
What did you watch, Fidel?
How familiar are you guys with Darren Aronofsky?
Isn't that dude canceled or?
No, you're thinking of Roman Polanski.
Oh yeah.
I've seen a few of his movies.
What are some movies?
Requiem for a Dream, The Fountain,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I haven't seen The Fountain.
The Wrestler.
The Wrestler is a
okay.
dope ass
Yeah,
movie.
that's a good movie.
So would you say he has like a certain style?
Yeah.
Depressing.
Oh, Mother. He did Mother.
He
with
did
Jennifer,
Mother?
with Jennifer Lawrence, didn't he?
No, that was what's his name? That was the guy who did Civil War.
Alex Garland,
Mm-hmm.
the one with Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh no! I'm thinking of Men. No, I don't know why. Yeah, Mother. Okay, yeah.
So he has a certain style. Black Swan.
But yeah.
He has a certain style, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know
The Whale.
The Whale.
That
that's
was a
right.
good movie too, man.
I haven't seen it.
I remember when that movie. I think it was King Arthur.
Oh, with Clive Owens.
I don't know who. I know Charlie Hunnam's in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that one. Okay, that one. Yeah.
So when that one came out and I saw it was directed by Darren Aronofsky, and I was like, that's kind of weird. I never watched it, so I don't know.
It's mid.
And then he did Aladdin, the live action one.
Did he?
Yeah.
What?
I know, yeah, right? So I was
That's
like,
a curveball, dude.
oh, that's kind of weird.
That is weird.
Movie he did recently that I ended up watching, Caught Stealing.
Never heard of
Ever
it.
heard of it? With Austin Butler, Zoe Kravitz.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
So I saw the trailer for it and I was like, oh, this looks interesting, you know. It's kind of funny. And I watched it and I was like, does not feel like a Darren Aronofsky movie. It feels like a Guy Ritchie movie. Like this feels like the person who made Snatch made this. Because it has that like dumb criminal, overly violent, wrong place, wrong time situations. Because Austin Butler plays this guy who he has a neighbor who's like, I think it takes place in the 80s. He has a neighbor who's like super like punk, the Liberty Spikes and everything.
Hell yeah.
And he tells him like, hey, like I'm gonna go out of town to visit my dad because he's sick. Can you watch my cat? And the guy, he's like, yeah, whatever. So he leaves. And then Austin Butler's girlfriend comes over to visit him. And she's like, oh, have you like fed the cat? And like when he's going over to the apartment to get the food, there's these two guys there and they think he lives there. Like, oh, where is he at? And he's all like, well, I don't know. He's all, but you're about to open the apartment. And he's like, yeah, okay. He's all, but you don't know where he's at? And they're like heavy Russian accents. And he's like, yeah, I don't know where he's at. And they beat the fuck out of him. And like basically put him in the hospital. I think they stab him also. Like it's bad.
Oh shit.
And he ends up getting caught up in the situation where they're saying like, oh yeah, your buddy stole money from us. We need to know where it's at. And he goes through all this shit. Like the cops get involved and then like it turns out one of the cops, the detectives is like crooked and she's like after the money too. Everybody wants to know where this money's at. Then this guy finally comes home. And he's like, what the fuck did you get me involved in? And he goes, what? Like, no, like, I realized like I left and I didn't tell my employer I was leaving. So they probably think I stole the money, but I didn't. I really just left to go visit my dad. And it just gets worse and worse from there. But it felt like a Guy Ritchie movie. Like it was entertaining. The performances, like there's these two rabbis that are assassins. That's the part that reminded me of like Guy Ritchie. Just because they're funny, but they're like, you don't want to fuck with these guys. And it's just a lot of silly stuff happening. And I did enjoy the movie, but it just felt weird that Darren Aronofsky made this movie. If that makes sense. Have you seen any of his other movies? The ones I listed off?
The Whale, The Wrestler.
What'd you think of those?
I liked both those movies. The Whale in particular, I thought was really good.
You know how like those like very dramatic.
Yeah, very dramatic. They have like heavy heavy tones. A lot of it like is, you know, the connection between like a family member or a loved one, you know. Usually if someone's affected by something, you know. I didn't know he did the Aladdin movie too. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
That's
Really?
wild, dude. Wow. That's crazy.
That's tripping me out, dude.
Damn, the coughing fits hits me now. The fuck?
That's what's up.
No, but I did enjoy the movie. I think it's worth a watch. Not his greatest work, but like I said, it felt like a guy. Like this felt like a Guy Ritchie movie.
What'd you watch it on?
Fuck, I don't remember. I think it was Netflix.
I haven't been on Netflix in forever, dude.
Let me see. I watched it on.
No, Guy Ritchie directed Aladdin,
Oh, okay.
which I guess kind of like fits your point.
Kind of to tell them apart.
Yeah, it was hard to tell that apart.
Wait, so then I think Guy Ritchie also did King Arthur.
Yeah, because it didn't come up on here.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, it felt like a Guy Ritchie movie. Because all his other shit is usually like kind of profound, very deep, very
deep.
dramatic. So it was just weird. It almost felt like he did it because he had to. I don't know. But I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was terrible. It was just weird.
Did you watch anything else?
I watched a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I also watched. There's this documentary I watched on Hulu about these two girls. Well, it's a group of 3 girls. One of them is murdered, and she was murdered by her 2 best friends.
Is this like the Slender Man type thing or whatever?
No. I forgot what it was called. Friends Like These, I think it's called. Something like that. I watched that one. That one's really good. That one. Are you familiar with the story?
Like vaguely, I know that there's one where it was like young girls. One of them, and it was like Slender Man was like telling them to do it, and then there's another one where it was like a group of girls, and the two kind of like were like suspects in her killing. I don't remember I don't know. I'm vaguely familiar.
They killed her because they didn't want to be friends with her anymore. They thought she was annoying,
Damn, we could
What
do
the
that.
fuck?
basically. And there was like a ulterior motive that some people thought with one of them because her family was like super religious, and like it later turned out she was a lesbian, and so she felt like maybe her friend was gonna tell because they started to have a fallout. So like she convinced like this other girl to help her kill her.
Yeah, didn't they like lure her into like
The woods.
the woods?
Yeah, and they like stabbed her to death.
Yeah, and they stabbed her.
That
Damn.
one was really good. I also watched the Scream Murders documentary about the 2 guys that like tried to start like a killing spree because they loved the movie Scream.
Oh, those 2 high schoolers that like
They like
Like,
worship the Columbine shooters.
yeah, and they videotaped themselves like admitting to a bunch of stuff.
Did they ever actually kill anybody or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
They did?
Yeah, they did it in a way where like the girl was at like an aunt's house or something.
She was house
She
sitting.
was house sitting and she had her boyfriend over at one point, and then one of those guys or both of them were there. They were all hanging out,
Yeah.
but they were trying to. They were already plotting that they were gonna kill. I think both of them.
No, just her.
Just her.
Yeah.
But they didn't suspect him to be there. Or
Yeah,
something
they
like
didn't think he was going to be there.
but he ended up showing up, and they like set it up to where like when they were alone, they like cut the power to the basement for like making noises
Yeah.
to like lure them down there. And dude, it was a brutal one.
And they eventually got caught and
Yeah, like they got caught because they slipped up, dude. Like they
yeah.
didn't cover their tracks good enough. Yeah, bedtime. But yeah, they end up getting caught. But you never heard of this story?
I don't think so, dude.
Yeah, they like would film everything. They even filmed themselves like making a list of the girls that they want to kill.
They specifically targeted women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But they only killed the one girl though.
yeah, they only killed the one girl.
And the guy.
No.
Oh,
So the boyfriend, like they were there with the boyfriend and everything.
they ended up getting her alone. And then
Well, they ended up leaving, like supposedly leaving, and then the boyfriend, like they're interviewing the boyfriend, and he's saying like, "Yeah, I just remember, like they left, we continued watching the movie, and then the lights went out, and then they came back on like a little while after, and she was really scared. So he's all, I called my mom because they're in high school. He's like, I called my mom. I was like, hey, like, is it okay if I stay here with her? She's scared, and like but she can't leave the house by itself. Like, can I stay here? And the mom was like, absolutely not. Like, I don't trust you, type of shit. And so she's like, I'm gonna come pick you up now, right now. So the mom shows up, picks him up, and they leave. And then apparently what happens is like the lights go out again. And that's when they enter the house and like attack her and kill, like stab her to death. It's crazy because they show like the body cam footage of the cops going through the house, and then you see the body. It's like blurred, but you see the body there, like, and then like all like the mess from like the struggle and shit.
Yeah, her like little cousin who lives there was the first one to see
to find the body.
Yeah, she was stabbed like 28 times.
Yeah, dude.
28 times.
Yeah, dude. It was pretty gruesome. And then they tried to burn all their tapes because they were aspiring like filmmakers. So they did a lot of like of them filming themselves with a camcorder.
Kind of like vlogging about it.
Yeah, like straight onto like VHS or like a 8mm or something.
Whatever was at the time.
Yeah, whatever it was. And then they tried to like burn the evidence of all that stuff, which is basically them like talking about worshiping the Columbine shooters, talking about what they were gonna do, like specifically, like
so all the evidence.
Yeah,
basically.
dude, literally, dude, like them mapping the whole thing out, like narrating the whole thing, and they didn't successfully burn everything, so they were able to retrieve like the contents from those tapes, and
you see clips of it in the documentary.
Yeah,
and the way that I had learned about it was from podcasts.
Yeah,
and the ones I listened to were showing like footage of like them having doing interviews more recent, like after being in prison and stuff. And
they
like,
include that too.
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
dude. And like one of them is like dude, they putting the blame all on the other one. You know, like this maintaining their innocence. You know, and the other one is like, you know.
Oh no, this shows like current interviews. They're like where they both take accountability.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So how recent was this?
I think it was last year.
Oh shit! Okay.
I think, but yeah, because it shows like they're obviously in prison doing the interview, like over the phone and shit. And one of them is saying like, you know, like I was a dumb kid, you know, like my brain was fully developed. I'm not saying that excuses what I did, because it's horrible what I did. He's like, but I'm not that person anymore. Like, yeah, I did it, and it's horrible. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it was a horrible thing. And then the other guy, the one with like the blonde hair, because the one that like the way they found everything, there's one that confessed, but his story was like, yeah, like he made me, like I didn't touch her, like I thought we were going there to prank them, and then he just started stabbing her, and I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And he like scared me, saying that like if I don't help him get rid of the body, like I'm gonna go down, or if I don't help him get rid of the evidence, I'm gonna go down with him. So that's why we like took everything to this field and like buried it. And so he took the cops, and they found everything that he's talking about, and that's why they found the tape, and like it shows like everything was burned. But the tape wasn't burned to the point where they couldn't get like the film out of it, and that's how they were able to see it.
So they already suspected though before they found all the evidence.
Well, I think they zeroed in on the boyfriend first.
Yeah, they were going after the boyfriend.
Yeah,
first.
they went after him pretty quick
because it seemed like
I mean,
yeah, he was there the night of.
Yeah, but then when they watched the tape, the one that said like, "Oh, he made me do it," he's the one saying like, "Oh yeah, she's gonna die tonight," and he's like laughing.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
It was funny because like, he was the one that was like the more enthusiastic of the two. But then like in that when the shit came down like that, like he made it seem like he was not the one who devised the plan,
Who,
was
like, initiated
took
everything.
charge of the scenario.
Yeah. And then like during the trials, each of their defense was like he was the ringleader.
Yeah.
But I mean, they both ended up getting life. And then the documentary turned into like this discussion of like when they ended up getting life in prison with no possibility of parole. But then a law passed saying like if you're underage, if you're like a minor that gets convicted of a crime that involves you getting a long prison sentence, or involves you getting no parole on your prison sentence, if you're a minor, then you have to be eligible for parole, like after a certain amount of time, no matter what the sentence is. I guess that's a law that passed where they lived. And so they were trying to say like, okay, well, does that mean they're going to be able to be eligible for parole now?
Like, is it retroactive?
Yeah. And so they're kind of discussing that. And then they ended up talking to a woman who, it has nothing to do with the case, but her daughter was murdered by someone in high school. And that kid got life in prison. And after 30 years, he was able to get parole and he got out. And so she talks about like, I don't think that's fair. Like he took a life. His life should be over too. I feel like that's the equal thing. So like it turns into a discussion of like, is that fair or not? They end up not being eligible anyway. So
yeah, that show's brutal.
Yeah.
And it was like thought out.
Yeah, and they had a list.
Yeah.
They were trying to be serial killers.
Yeah, so I mean, fuck them.
They didn't even get far. That sucks.
Yeah,
I mean, like, they just seem very amateurish.
yeah. But yeah, they like worshipped horror movies. I thought it was going to turn into a discussion of like, oh, are horror movies bad? You know, but no, it never really turned into that. So I was like, all right, cool.
Are you into like true crime stuff like that?
I'm into it in doses because after a while I get sick of it.
Same.
So, but when I do find something interesting, like I'm like, okay, I'm down. I did start watching. It has nothing to do with true crime, or it kind of does. I started watching this movie on Hulu called Sweatshop. I don't know if you guys heard of it. It's about this woman that works for a company that basically filters the bad shit on the internet and like decides whether it needs to be taken off the internet or not. And so she works for this company, and I'm watching. I got like 20 minutes in. I turned it off, dude. It sucked. Like the acting was bad. Like it was just boring.
Yikes.
But like the actress, Lily Reinhart, she's the main character. I like her as an actress.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Not in this one?
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it. But I did want to. Did you guys watch If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You?
No, not yet.
Okay, I don't want to talk about it yet until you guys watch it.
Hell yeah.
What's it on?
Amazon.
Oh, okay.
I think that's where I watched it.
Yeah, I'll watch it this week.
Because that one I did take notes. I forgot my notepad, but I was like, oh, maybe they didn't watch it, so we'll save it for the next one. But that one I watched. Let me see. Oh, HBO. It's on HBO.
Yeah.
But yeah. I did watch Night Patrol also.
Night Patrol.
That vampire movie starring Colin Young of Hardlore.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I sent you the video where he puts his finger in the wound and he like, I sent you guys a video in the group chat the night I was watching it. It was a while back. And then Eddie was like, freaky ass vampire or something like that.
I don't remember, dude.
I don't remember either.
Damn.
Dementia homies.
Yeah, that
So
movie
was that or what?
Nah, that movie was terrible, dude.
Was it?
That shit sucked. It's the main stars are CM Punk, Freddie Gibbs, the black kid from the Power Rangers movie. I don't know his name. The one who was the Black Ranger.
Oh, yeah. The original dude?
No. From the recent movie.
Oh, okay.
The one that was like actually decent.
I don't remember.
Oh my god.
I never saw it.
Oh my god.
I saw it one time and I was like, no.
But yeah, like the acting was so like okay. The whole premise. Oh, Justin Long is in it as well.
Okay.
You know who Justin Long is, right?
Yes.
Okay. The premise is there's a division of the police department called the Night Patrol, where obviously they only go at night, but it's because they're vampires. But their whole like ulterior motive is they go to these like projects, like ghetto neighborhoods, and just basically feed on like black people.
Yikes.
And everybody in the group is white. And like Colin, he plays one of the vampires. His death scene, dude, that shit had me dying because he's not a good actor, dude. He's like, oh, like. But yeah, so then at the same time, okay, so the main character, he's part of the Crips, and he's like dating this girl who's part of the Bloods. So they have to like go behind, they have to sneak around basically. So they're like parked in this like ditch, and they're like about to make out, whatever, and then the cops pull up on them, and it's CM Punk and like all the Night Patrol guys, and they're like, oh, like what are you doing out here, whatever, and then they ask her to get out of the car, and she's all like, we're not doing anything, like we're just hanging out, like we're. And he's like, oh, so I'm not gonna find any weapons or anything, and she's like, no. And then the main character, he's like sitting in the passenger seat, like, what the fuck is going on? And then CM Punk's like, get him out here. This is his initiation. And that's when Justin Long gets out of the car and he shoots the girl in the head.
Oh shit!
And the main character gets out of the passenger seat and runs. And like he gets away from them, so they end up not catching him. And now they're trying to find him. And Justin Long, his character is basically, he's doing whatever he can to get into the Night Patrol to take it down. He's trying to infiltrate it.
Got it.
And but they end up turning him into a vampire. And like, I mean, Justin Long, he's a good actor. His performance was good. But dude, like some of the choices in this movie, like
Who made this movie?
I don't know. Let me see.
For them to cast like all these randoms in there.
Ryan Prowse. I don't know who that is.
But
so the main character's mom, she's like one of the leaders of the Crips. And there's a scene where she's like, oh, like her other son, he's also a cop. And he's like Justin Long's old partner. And she asked him like to meet so they could talk to him because they feel like something's going on with the police department. And then so she asked him for that. And he shows up and she's like, what are you doing in my neighborhood? Like I told you, if you ever show your face here again, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And then he's all like, I'm just here for my little brother. Like, come on, let's go. And she's like, you're not going anywhere. And they start fighting. And like, she's like, I don't ever want to see your fucking face around here, you fucking traitor, you fucking pig. Like, and like he leaves. And then later on in the movie, when he dies, she's like all like, oh my God, my son. Like, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, makes no sense.
so
It's just a lot of dumb shit.
so
like,
you're saying this is like a better vampire than Sinners?
oh yeah,
movie.
definitely.
For sure.
Hell yeah. How come it
This
didn't?
got snubbed at the Oscars,
Right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, how come it didn't get nominated, dude?
And then the fangs are obviously, they're grills. They don't have
That's
fangs.
dope,
No,
dude.
like they don't have. They put in like grills, like all the vampires.
That's tight.
They put like they're like yeah, they're grills with fang, and that's how they like bite people and drink their blood and eat them, whatever.
Do they have like bling in the grills?
No,
Oh, not that type of grill.
no.
Hmm.
I was just like, dude, this movie fucking sucks.
Would you watch it on?
I just watched it on like some movie website because it's like not
Okay,
streaming
Jose.
anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the website, but dude,
Oh, okay, Jose.
so I was like Googling where to watch movies for free. Like found all these websites, and I found this one that was actually working, but all these pop-ups kept popping up.
Yeah.
So I had to close them all out until I could watch the movie without interruption. But then every time if I wanted to pause it, then the pop-ups would start again.
Hmm.
So I'm like, fuck.
That's dope.
But yeah, like movie sucked, dude. Music was tight.
Yikes.
YG's death was funny too, because
Oh,
he
yeah.
gets stabbed and he's like, oh, what? And he just falls over.
Was it meant to be like funny then?
I don't know. And then like the way that it ends, the main character, he's like, he's gonna fight like the head vampire, played by what's his name, Dermot Mulroney.
familiar.
He's been in a bunch of movies, but he's like the main character gets dressed like a Zulu warrior. And then like you hear like the drums like, and he's like has a spear, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And then they're like flying in the air and fight. Dude, it looks so bad.
That sounds tight.
I think it would be a fun movie to watch with a group of people because it's so bad.
Hell yeah. I'm trying to watch that.
But yeah, you guys should need to watch If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You.
Yeah, that one sounds good.
But yeah, that's all I got.
You guys didn't watch Marty Supreme?
No.
No.
Because I thought it was streaming, and I was like, because I
Yeah,
haven't
I'm
had
waiting
a
for it
chance to
to
go to the
pop up.
theater.
What was the other thing you watched?
Okay, so I put on a Predator Badlands.
Oh, I watched that too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you like it?
I liked it.
I got 15 minutes in, dude. I turned it off.
Why?
I couldn't do it.
Why?
Yeah.
I fucking hated it, dude.
Why?
Why?
It looked bad.
You think so?
Yes, and it was just a CGI mess for me, dude, and it took me out like every fucking 5 seconds. I'm just like, like why? It felt like I wasn't even watching a real movie at certain points, especially a Predator movie, where it's like, even in the second one, like they used real. Like that's why I don't understand. I get you have to use some kind of CGI like during the action scenes, but it's I don't even think they made a real mask or like something for the actor.
It was motion capture.
Yeah, it looked bad. It sucks. Like you watch Pirates of the Caribbean and it's like, whoa, this looks astonishing. Even though it was like, and that shit it's old now, and that shit looked better than this. And it just kept taking me out. And it's just like I want to see like the grossness of the Predator, and then they're not that agile. Like they're not these like I don't know. I felt like they were doing aerobics when they're fighting and stuff, and it reminded me of Blade 2. Like when they're like, you know, the scene in Blade 2. That's it kept reminding me of that. I'm like, I don't think I can sit through this. And I tried, dude, but I couldn't. It just wasn't my thing. So then I was like, fuck, what am I gonna watch? And then I had ordered a movie from Second Sight. It was a blind buy, but it's streaming too. It's called The Ugly Stepsister.
Ugly Stepsister.
And it's a Norwegian film. So it has subtitles. It is a retelling of the classic Cinderella story.
Oh, okay.
And I fucking loved it, dude.
Really?
This movie is
It was good.
fucking dope. Yes. It's so fucking pretty to look at, dude. Like every scene, I think they use actual film for it. Like it just looks fucking gorgeous.
Is it a fairy tale?
Yeah, it's a period piece, and it's just like a retelling of the Cinderella story, but the main character is one of the ugly stepsisters.
Got it.
And you kind of go see everything through like her point of view.
Oh, okay.
So Cinderella is like in the story, but you're not.
She's not the main character.
She's not the main character. And you know it's fucking violent. It's brutal, dude. There's some scenes that made me like, oh man, like, it's just it was a fucking great time. It's a slow burn kind of, but I thought it was fucking gorgeous to look at. I did not expect to like this movie that much, but I fucking loved it. And yeah, like I said, it's really brutal and very disgusting. It's kind of a body horror film, and I didn't even expect that. Yeah, because there's a lot of shit that would make like just the average viewer. It'd make me like kind of wince about it, you know, like certain scenes. Like there's a scene that she's getting like trained in like ballet and like to dance and stuff, and it's very clear that the teacher is like really only focusing like giving her like full attention to like the pretty girls. So she tells the stepsister like, oh, like she kind of grabs her double chin, like pinches it, like kind of hinting like you're too fat, to be here. And I guess like her nose isn't like straight, like, so she's an ugly stepsister or whatever. So she starts going through it to get to where she needs to be. You get this crazy scene of this doctor that it's a period piece, so it's like
all rudimentary tools and procedures.
Yeah, so it's literally, it gets like this fucking little metal like rod and a little hammer and just snaps her fucking her little,
like the bridge of her nose.
Yeah, the bridge of her nose, and it's fucking it's brutal, dude. And he ends up like sewing like eyelashes on her face. She ends up drinking a tapeworm that her mom gives her to lose weight. And you get a gnarly scene later on of her like puking up the tapeworm. It's fucking gross and brutal, dude. It's a pretty, and In the have you ever read the actual like Cinderella like fairy tale like
Is it
the
by
OG?
is it by Hans Christian Andersen?
I have no idea.
Because that dude wrote a lot of those like types of books.
Oh
Like
yeah, so
like I think like the original like Little Mermaid and stuff like that. Like all like a lot
so
of those were adapted by Disney.
I don't know if it was. I've heard this growing up, like since I was like in elementary. Like the original story has the stepsisters like cutting their feet to fit into the shoe.
Yeah, it's they're darker in nature.
Yeah, so that happens in this movie. Like she literally chops like her toes off,
Yeah.
and it shows it. It doesn't cut away. It's fucking brutal, dude. And it the ending it makes me like because the whole time you're kind of rooting for her in the beginning because she is getting like the shit end of the deal, you know. Like you feel bad for her, you know. She's kind of a good person. She's just getting the shit end of the deal because of the way she looks. So you kind of feel bad for her and you kind of understand her frustrations and you kind of like root for her. But as the story continues, like you kind of like, I don't know if she's that great of a person because like just the links she's going through, like to kind of screw other people over to win Prince Charming, you know,
Yeah.
to win him over, and to the point where like you're kind of rooting for like Cinderella, but this movie, dude, like it's by the end of the movie, dude, like it reminded me a lot. It gets compared to The Substance a lot, even though like The Substance is like complete bonkers, like modern film. Like this is obviously a period piece, but those like
It's like that.
those parallels are there from those both
It
movies.
sounds like that comparison is like based on they share that commonality of it, like what you're willing to put your body through as a woman,
Mhm.
due to like these beauty standards,
Yeah,
like these standards of beauty, like you know, and like because you said she's going through it, like not getting favored because she's not, you know,
yeah,
beautiful, you know, or whatever. So she mutilates her own body to become so, which is something like that. What happens in The Substance?
yeah, and you know, and the dynamic of all these characters is so great because, like I said in the beginning, you're kind of rooting for her, and then as you know the movie progresses, you're
You
just
get
like,
to know her more.
yeah, you're just like, she's not that great of a person, but like nobody really is. Like even Prince Charming, he's kind of an asshole. He's like a typical guy. Like him and his buddies when they're having like the main dance, they're like they're talking about the girls, like dude, look at her boobs, like just being pervs and shit, you know, like
Yeah, just
talking
being-
about fucking,
Just being like,
Oh yeah.
just being Fidel and Jose, you know, and so like yeah, like it's like so you're not even like rooting for anybody to get him because he's just like he's kind of gross, you know.
he's not worth it.
Yeah, it's just dude, but yeah, this movie is brutal, dude. Like I highly recommend it.
What made you want to buy it? You said it was a blind buy.
Yeah, just because like a Orbit always has the like if you buy 3 movies you get one for you get free shipping. So I was
that's
like,
right.
I gotta throw one in there. I'm like, you know what? I'll buy that because I ended up pre-ordering the Dollars trilogy. But
Oh hell yeah!
yeah, but dude, yeah, this movie's fucking brutal. I did not. I feel like a lot of body horror films are coming out because even the Together one,
Oh yeah.
that was a body horror like. But I thought it was cool. Like it, you know, it reminds me of all these like other like is Winnie the Pooh Winnie the Pooh's Disney, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Like you know how they had like the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, like all
Yeah,
those
yeah.
like horror remakes that are kind of really stupid.
This is not like that.
No, this is like you could tell this is like crafted from like somebody that knew what they wanted to. They had a vision, they had a reason for it. You know, it wasn't just like shock value, even though there's a lot of it. Like you know, because there's a ton of gore. But you know, obviously, like all the themes of the beauty standards are there. How far would you go? But it's also kind of funny, like The Substance, because even like The Substance, like when it ends, or when she's just like this blob thing, it has kind of a similar ending.
Yeah.
but I mean, I don't want to spoil like what that ending is, but I highly recommend it. It's fucking pretty to look at. Like I love the set designs. Like I don't think there's any CGI. It might be a few during some of the scenes, but if there is, very minimal, very very minimal. All the scenes that I don't know where they filmed this. But like the interiors of the houses, dude, just beautiful to look at. You know, like those old mansions,
Yeah.
like, you know, uh, but the costumes, everything is just like great. The acting's great. Um, yeah, it was just a movie that surprised me, and I loved it. I like I
That's not-
want to look into the director and like see what else she has like made, because this movie is like, it sucks that I don't hear any talk about it.
That
really.
sounds very interesting, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's cool. Like, you know, it's a cool little spin to like the classic, like I said, Cinderella story. So
I'm curious to know, like, if it's maybe more, if it's more true to like the source material.
I'm sure they took some of it, but like it goes so bonkers sometimes that I'm like, I know they're not, like, there was no like tapeworms and shit like in the original.
Yeah,
But I mean, but then again,
maybe who knows?
yeah. I was like, then again, like, you know, her chopping her feet off. Like, I'm pretty sure people don't realize that's in the, you know, in the real fairy tale.
Yeah, but I
But-
mean, there's a lot of those from that area, you know, because I mean, like I said, Little Mermaid takes place in like Denmark, and if I'm not mistaken, it was written by Hans Christian Andersen,
Hmm.
and those original stories are typically like,
Yeah, some dark.
like they're super dark,
Mm.
like kind of brutal. I remember listening to a podcast that kind of each episode did like a deep dive on each one, comparing them with like what we know like those stories to be,
Yeah.
and they're like Disney waters them down tremendously, you know. That's I'm curious to know. So do they have the same type of like story beats when in that one where Cinderella's like kept to like in a tower, like she's given
I'm not familiar
rags?
with it. But I mean, like the whole like,
No, I mean in the movie.
oh,
Like do they do that? Is it the same thing where like they keep her as like their house slave, and she's like wearing rags and stuff?
no, not really. Man, I wish I would have been more familiar with this, like the OG like movie,
Mhm.
the classic movie.
Oh, you're just not even you're not familiar with it like that.
Not really, no,
Oh, shit,
because like
okay.
even in this movie, like her Cinderella's dad dies, and she keeps his corpse there, and like throughout the movie, that corpse is there, and it's just like rotting throughout the movie.
What the hell?
Yeah, so like you get like this. I'm telling you, dude, the practical effects are insane in this movie, and
Damn, that sounds crazy.
like you can just smell this corpse through the TV, and you get the flies all over it, and like his body's like bloating. Like,
whoa, shit.
yeah, it's a brutal film, dude. But like I said, like it's so fucking pretty to look at too. Like
Interesting.
you get like these scenes where they're dancing and their ballet stuff, and like it just looks gorgeous, dude. Like it. Like if this was taking, if you took the body horror stuff out, like it like would be like a beautiful like very like drama filled like movie, like very just
Got
a traditional period piece, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm glad like, you know, they did throw a lot of body horror stuff, because like it's brutal, dude, and practical effects up the ass with this, dude.
That's tight.
Yeah.
That's
But
tight.
I'm not. I know it's streaming. I'm not sure where.
It's on Shudder and Hulu.
And Hulu. Yeah, but I would recommend it. I mean, obviously, like, you know, I said it's no region, so, but
Subtitles preferred.
yeah, I think there's the dub version too, but
I hate watching dubbed movies.
Yeah, even when I try to preview them, like, you know, sometimes you can like they have them like as previews.
yeah, they never sound right, dude.
They don't.
I feel like the only ones that could kind of maybe pull it off are like animes,
Yeah.
but when it's real actors, dude, like nothing ever syncs up perfectly, and
Yeah, I think
the sound's off.
I think about that all the time. Like, especially like how you made the comparison with like cartoons or like animes.
Hmm.
I think it's because like their mouths aren't really moving in the same way as like an actual person
Yeah.
talking. So your brains are kind of like filling in those gaps, so it doesn't look as off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But when like you try to watch anything else dubbed, like live action, I don't know. For me, I don't know. I mean, I grew up watching like old like samurai films with my dad. They were dubbed, but like in retrospect, it's whack like that.
Yeah, I mean, even like in Kung Pao, Fidel's favorite movie,
Oh,
they make fun of that too. You know, because that is essentially that's what they're doing in the movies. You know, they're taking old movies and like cut and pasting real actors, like modern actors in it, and like they're making fun of the whole dub thing because like that guy would be like talking like off his, you know, like for like 15 seconds, and he was just like, no,
Yeah,
like
I remember that part.
So yeah, like I don't know, I can't watch movies like that, but I mean, but if that helps the, you know, somebody that's interested in watching it, like I just go for it. But I mean, I fucking love this movie, dude.
That movie sounds sick.
It's fucking, it's a good time, dude.
The Ugly Stepsister
Yeah.
on Hulu or Shudder.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys gonna try to watch If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
I'll watch it this week, and I'll try to watch Mario Supreme if I can find it somewhere.
When are you gonna watch Manchester by the Sea? Be the deciding factor.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I'll watch that one too.
Damn.
I gotta watch a bunch of shit, man. I have like this long list from like mad people.
Nikki's been active on the comments for Betamax.
Yeah.
Yeah. She commented on the episode today, saying something like, let me see, let me bring it up. Because today was the cigar episode.
Oh
Yeah. Or yesterday.
Well, yeah, yesterday. Let me see. She put, I just always think of the Arnold video of him smoking stogies. LOL.
Oh, the one he's talking about his wife.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said,
Well, he's like talking like, he's like, oh, it's like they can't tell me what to smoke because my dad, her dad got me into smoking cigars. So what's she gonna say? I can't smoke. Like it's a funny video, dude.
Is that your best Arnold Schwarzenegger impression?
It was spot on, dude.
Yeah, dude. I you disappeared for a second.
There you go.
she put, I'm gonna kill myself because Manchester by the Sea is so fucking sad. Oh my God. I'm gonna fight Eddie. I gotta knock some sense into Twin.
Dude, it's a dark comedy, dude.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
That's not.
Nah.
It's
We'll
not.
see. We'll see.
I'll be the deciding factor.
Mm-hmm.
Once Jose watches it. All right, we'll see everybody next time.
All right.
corazón de hielo no llegó al cielo. Este es mi cuento, es trabajo sucio.